Yo, what's up, my munchkins and viewers alike? It's me, Munchie. I am very heated right now. I don't mean to be. It's just that this is the second time this week that someone's left their dogs in the car when it's 85 degrees out and they're in direct sunlight and they're gone for more than 5 minutes. So I had to intervene because the pet person that I am, I don't want pets suffering, which clearly they were in that car, so that's why I pulled over and decided to wait there until the people came back to give them an education. The internet, it's in our pockets, yet people don't research. Speaking of internet and researching, I wanted to discuss this with you guys just because I am based in America and I follow the California Hamster Association, Ontario Hamster Club, and Ginger's Care Guide. Mainly they talk about Syrian hamsters, but also applies to dwarf hamsters as well for some aspects. These are great resources to get your information from. They are there. They've been in the hobby for decades. There are some people in the pet hobby that are still trucking along. These are people that I have talked to personally, that I have consulted with when it comes to questions, and I have also talked to some of them here today before making this video because I wanted to make sure that all of my facts were in order and that they agree, disagree, etc. What are their thoughts? And they have made this very clear as well. So when it comes to cage minimum sizes, I want to explain again, just because not many people are aware. Minimum means please don't fall under this. Please don't go any lower. Maximum is like, well, max I feel like is unlimited. You don't really have a max when it comes to hamster keeping. Although in the wild, they have a territory of 2 miles, so you could say maybe 2 miles worth, but I mean, 2 miles, you can go in any general direction really from your burrow. So technically it's 2 miles times the surface area, blah, blah, blah. Math, we're not getting into that. There is a big difference when it comes to our care guides versus that of another country. It's wonderful there's countries out there with better pet laws than America and better cages and care than America. But America has its limitations. Same with Canada. There are specific care that you want that you just can't get because unfortunately pet companies aren't delivering to your area, or you can't like get anything but KT with their shitty critter trail cages, which they're like, well, it connects to make that of a tunnel system, but really it's a surface area that's the most important because they don't spend all their time in their burrow. They're not like gerbils where they are active underground. They're active above surface. That is the absolute difference for gerbil care and hamster care. That's why I say more bedding is really needed for gerbils because they literally are active underground. They love creating burrows and they're constantly creating burrows, whereas hamsters, they'll choose a spot, they'll poop, they'll pee, they have their chambers, but they're active above surface. That's why wheel is so important to them because they need that surface area that unfortunately domestication does not provide. It's unfortunate, I keep saying this, that hamsters had to have been domesticated in the late 30s, early 40s because they don't really make great pets. However, we have learned they have a bond with us, but it does take time and they haven't been domesticated in 100 years yet. Our care is slowly going up, but here in America, we're not getting all the stuff that like Europe has, or Germany, for instance. But we want to make sure that we preach to you guys, in a polite way at least, to please consider bigger. But there is a certain minimum that is fine. Now, California Hamster Association last year increased it to 600 square inches, where I used to say 450 is fine. But now I have to say 450 is fine for rescue care, especially for dwarf hamsters, because we still use 450 for dwarf hamsters, because that is absolutely fine. We get like so many requests to take in animals, we try to help them out, and we have noticed that dwarf hamsters, they don't exhibit as stressful of behaviors as Syrian hamsters do. Now, there's research of Syrian hamsters about their stress levels in very small enclosures, but if you're not providing them with the resources and the space, then they're not going to have as good of enrichment as, say, a hamster that has a lot more things to climb on, burrows to dig in and to place stuff and to explore, and a big enough wheel. But in this situation, I got into a little mini debate with someone that said the ethical care is 900 square inches. It was in one of the groups that I manage where in the United States, it's still 600. I didn't want people under 900 square inches to be shamed because we also are among them, as well as I decided to talk to CHA members and also Ginger to ask if they feel anything towards this. And they alliterated with me that it's because we don't have stuff available that we're not upping the minimum. And if you wanted to go higher than that, and if you're able to find and or to build a cage and have it set up and it is above 900 square inches, which is kind of like the Night Angel enclosures, really great enclosures, highly recommend, then please go for it. This person also showed me something that I thought was very interesting, so I want to discuss with you. PetMD. You guys are probably familiar with it because it's like WebMD, where you look up your medical symptoms. PetMD is there to help you with your questions for your animals whenever they have something going on. But apparently they now have a blog post where they tell you about care guide and all this different stuff. And when they show me this article, PetMD recommended 900 square inches. But in the article itself, they listed the Savick hamster haven cage, which is below 600 square inches when measured correctly. I thought that was a little bit funny because, again, this article that states, hey, you have to have at least minimum of 900 square inches is listing a cage that's even smaller. And then they went ahead and listed a gerbil enclosure. And this, I don't have the top of my head what the exact measurements were. They'll show up on screen, but that's less than 900 square inches. So I was very curious. I shared this with CHA member, and they said to me that more than likely, especially since this happens with the spruce pets, which I actually showed you guys probably back in 2019 or 2020, spruce pets provided really inaccurate information. And they mentioned that these people are probably just data sourcing, where they data mine like text messages and things about the subject and topic, and then they just copy and paste. So they are probably not even doing any research, but are still gathering this data and post on their own blog site, PetMD, that is owned by Chewy, by the way. Chewy! The pet company giant now that has actually made profits because 2020 happened. So yay for Chewy. I'll get into them a little bit here. But yeah, they just posted something that the data mining saw and said, hey, this is what everyone's saying. Let's post it. Because that was posted in May of 2022. However, in February, another vet tech on this blog site, PetMD blog, whatever, was saying that 10 to 20 gallon tanks is the minimum cage size for hamsters. It's one of those things where you're like, where's she getting the information? Because obviously they don't have any, sourcing below their own blog post to actually show you where they got that information. But this person owns their own vet practice. You know how insane the vet practice is? How can a vet keep up with a blog that's on PetMD while also maintaining her own vet practice? It's really highly unlikely that she is doing this. If she is, congratulations. She probably does it maybe in her spare time, if that is a thing. I know in spare times you probably don't want to be doing even extra work, but they could, PetMD, be using this person's name and just saying, hey, I want to run this through you. Does this look good? And then we're going to post it under your name. I don't know. When I went to check out PetMD and see all the creators and learn more about the website, she was listed as one of those people, one of their vets. Now, I had to check this out because I was wondering, why is this vet providing this information about cage size and this vet providing information about this cage size all within a couple months of each other? So I looked up when Chewy acquired them because I was so confused. Why is Chewy, the online retailer, actually owning PetMD? When did that happen? So I don't exactly know. It doesn't say on their Wikipedia when they acquired PetMD, but it looks like they've been dabbing themselves in the medical market. And I think in either 2020 or 2021, they made it so that they're able to sell prescription diets and supplements to people on their platform. Chewy, a company that really caters to sales, is now dabbing in the medical market after they had a successful net profit, which they finally earned. Because before, when I was working at a pet store, we were talking about this. Why would Chewy combine with PetSmart? They're actually losing money. You just purchase a company that's losing money. And then they split in 2020 when apparently their sales were going up, but they split from PetSmart, so they became their own entity again to now move over to medical sales. It's like they had an agenda of, oh, PetSmart, you're slowing us down. We want to become that giant, and we're just going to ditch you now because you're physical and you are dragging us down, and now we're online and the pandemic happened and this. I feel like it's just such a greedy company. I've used them once and they sent me expired food. And then they sent me a package that's supposed to replace the expired food because they're like, oops, our bad. And then guess what they ended up doing? They sent expired food again. And then they told me to donate it to a rescue. So anyways, this person decided to show me this link and said, well, this place said 900 square inches. And that's where I'm seeing everywhere. So again, the whole reason why there is a lower minimum in America is because there's not a whole lot available in America compared to Germany, as well as we don't have good pet laws compared to Germany. We're still trying to convince even the simplistic new beginner walking into Petco that all the cages on the shelf are not appropriate. And I still have people fighting me on that. And I don't even work at Petco. And oh my gosh, it can either be enlightening or frightening experience where you really want to approach gingerly. And that's what I try to do. I really try to do that. But some people are just looking to be very deflective and defensive instead of listening. Be like, hi, I'm a pet owner. I see that you're interested in this animal. Can I actually educate you a little bit on this? Because what they sell here is not that great. You can start off with that, by the way. If anybody's ever wondering, how do you engage with people? Don't try to get mad at first. Just be like, hi, before you make a mistake, I want to let you know I'm actually a hamster owner too. You know, something where you show them sympathy. Unlike the people that let their dogs in the car. That's kind of hard to just be all like, what is your problem? Lately, I've just been flat out going, why? Why? That's not okay. Why? I say that's not okay. I explain. And then if they listen, great. I thank them. If they don't, I start cussing them out. Because at some point, everything that you throw at them, they're like, pew, pew, pew. But that's why I want to make the video today, because PetMD is not a reliable source. They're probably data sourcing from the internet, pulling their information from nowhere, and, well, actually from everywhere, but you don't know where. And they're using actual veterinarians to either say, hey, we're going to post this under your name, is that okay? Or say, hey, you need to, come up with this. And they're also data mining. I mean, talking to someone of CHA that said that they used to do that as a job and they know how those sites are. And you can tell because they all sound similar, like the Spruce Pets, for instance, an Amazon blog, which I don't know how I found that. How did I find that? I don't know. Now PetMD by Chewy. All right. And then Pet Finder is now owned by Purina, by the way. It's crazy. These small companies that were successful are now being bought out by bigger companies looking to profit, looking to control the narrative. All right? Sound familiar maybe? I don't know. But anyways, I'm trying my best here to at least let people know 600 square inches to 900 is not neglect for your animal. All right? Anything that's a critter trail is really neglect. And again, that blog post that says 900 is the minimum then provides 2 links to cages that are smaller than 900 square inches. It's a bot. It's a sham, a scam. You can name it, all right? I hope you listen to me because we need to really look at the whole picture here. A lot of people just half-ass it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not like that. I don't like half-assing it. When I see people half-assing, I then provide context. And if they choose to listen, great. If they choose to just get a little bit of text message out of the entire paragraph, that's on them. And you can't change those people. All right? So thank you so much. If you enjoyed today's conversation, leave a like, show some support, leave an algorithm comment, or better yet, have a conversation with me on this. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I feel like 900 is a great recommendation. It is great, especially here in America. Trying to convince people to go with the Night Angel has been a curse and a blessing because some people say it's too big and some people say, oh, this is fantastic. I wish this was around when I was a child. Now my child gets to enjoy their hamster in something bigger. And that's what I like to hear. But let's not try shaming people that have 600 to 900 square inches because then we start to lose ourselves instead of being understanding of the situation. Plus, you guys were probably there at 600. Yes, you probably are not keeping your animal at 600 anymore, but it's not neglect. So thank you so much and take care, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye!